Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going on a different kind of journey. It's going to be a journey of recovery and sheer boredom. Not many adventures. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Um, about 6 days ago, I ruptured my Achilles on my right foot I was doing Ninja Warrior, and I was on the warped wall. I had tried the warped wall, I don't know, maybe 20 times in a row, and I was so close. I was in less than an inch away, and I said, one more time. I'm gonna do it one more time, and this is gonna be it. I kind of tripped a little bit. I hit the wall in a weird way, and it hurt it snap. It was like a gunshot went off, and I immediately had no strength in my foot. The pain level, when it happened, immediately was like nothing. It kind of felt like somebody took like a rope, or when someone whacks you with a towel, and just whacked me in the back of the leg. And I like looked behind me like, who did that? And everyone was looking at me like, oh man, he's fucked. So I bounced off over to Shannon, and my pain level, once I sat down, really started to rise. I started to sweat profusely. I got a little ice on it, and then we went to the hospital. At that point, the doctor touched it and was like, yeah, that baby's ruptured. It's full tear. The ER doctor told me that I would absolutely need surgery, and that that really sucked. I was not excited about that. I had surgery 3 years ago on my clavicle, because I broke my clavicle really bad, and there was no way I was getting out of that one without surgery, because I was like this. It was overlapped. There was bone missing. It was a disaster. So I reluctantly, I was forced into that surgery. That worked out great though. So I don't know if you ever break your clavicle. The surgery isn't, it's not great, but it worked. So anyway, about a day and a half later, I went to the orthopedic surgeon, and immediately he was like, yes, that's a full rupture, but you have the option of choosing surgery or to do a conservative treatment plan with no surgery, where we're gonna put it in this splint for about 4 weeks, plantar flexed, so meaning my foot's pointed down to shorten the tendon, and my heel is as close to that tendon as possible. And then from there we go into a boot, do intensive physical therapy, and I can avoid surgery that way. Or I could have surgery. So that was an option too. And this is where it gets really confusing and kind of just like gut-wrenching, because you're trying to make a decision about how the rest of your life is going to play out. As from the channel, you guys see that I do everything physical. I mountain bike, I rock climb, I cliff jump, I run, I climb mountains. Everything is, my whole life revolves around being physical, and your feet are the foundation of that. So making the wrong decision here could kind of mess up the rest of my life. That being said, I asked him point blank, am I going to be fine if I follow the rehab plan to a T? And he said, you are going to make a full recovery either way. However, the re-rupture rate from the Achilles, non-surgical, is slightly higher than if we do surgery. And for me, I don't know how much of... I feel like there's more factors at play than to just say, hey, sometimes they re-rupture more. And I don't know, because I feel like it depends on the person. It depends on the surgeon. How are you handling yourself afterwards? Did you make a mistake? Did you slip? Were you overdoing it? Or does this thing just like blow out at random 3% of the time because you didn't have surgery? I don't think they really have the answer for that. So it's kind of just make your best decision, because surgery also has downsides that I was informed about, and these are real. And I feel like a lot of people are going to immediately just say, well, I know my family did, just have surgery. Why don't you just get the surgery? Well, I don't really want to get cut open. I'm not really wasn't a real joy the last time when I had my clavicle done. I did it because I had to. But if I can avoid that, why wouldn't I? If I'm not Kobe Bryant, and I'm not LeBron James or any of these people, Aaron Rodgers. If I lose 5% of my strength long term, am I even going to notice it? No one's firing me from the NFL for this. And if I can remove all of those risks of surgery, I would like to do that. And some of those risks would include scar adhesions. There's not a lot of skin in between your Achilles and the skin there. So that could fuse. Revision surgeries, infection. If your surgeon makes a mistake, oops, I cut the sural nerve, now your foot's numb forever. As rare as those are, it's like I was told it was like 1 to 3% re-rupture rate on the surgery and 3 to 5 for non-surgical. So I don't think that's that big of a deal. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel like it. I'm going to do my best in physical therapy and follow my protocol. And really, hope for the best. Try to maintain a positive attitude. This injury somehow is actually worse than when I broke my back and my clavicle at the same time from a UTV accident. I was like half dead, and Shannon was having to feed me. I came home from the hospital that night, and she cut my shirt off, and I'm trying to bathe, and I can't move. It was horrible. It was a horrible accident, and I felt like I was going to die. But somehow, this is more mentally torturing me right now than that one, which is odd. I think it's because I feel overall like good, so it's just a stupid little thing on my foot that's stopping me from everything in life. And I'm sure if you're watching this and you've torn your Achilles, you're most likely an athlete, and your life has been upended, and that really sucks. So we're in this together. I hope that whether you choose surgery or non-surgical, the rehab process is the same either way. So we just need to focus on sticking to that rehab, maintaining a proper diet, not drinking alcohol, take your collagen. I have faith that I'll get back to what I love doing. Will I maybe take a hit long term on my strength level? Maybe. But what I'll say is, having this be my second major accident that has taken me completely out of athletics, I certainly do appreciate a very normal, boring day. So I would say, if you haven't torn your Achilles and you're watching this, appreciate that your day was boring and that nothing happened, because I would kill for one of those days. um, I will keep you guys updated on how this goes for me in terms of the non-operative, and hope that I can stay that way and that there's no re-rupture, the tendon doesn't heal long, and that everything goes really well. This is going to be a long road. I was told this is a year-long recovery. And if you're going through it, stay strong, try to maintain a positive attitude, eat healthy, and check back in here for updates. And if I learn things, I'll bring it here, try to help everybody through this, because I know there's a lot of us out there that this is a pretty common injury among athletes. And I've watched some people's videos that have made me feel better about my situation, so I'm hoping that I can help you through, and we can get through this together. So that's about it for the video, and I will update you next week. I'll try to do a week by week. See you on the next one.